Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kokodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel, the true Hebrew Israelites, or the so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans, as well as you Israelite foreigners who may look like the other nations but believe on this truth. This is a video lesson on how you can't just throw the laws in the well, let me just say it this way. This plantation Christianity, they don't really follow the Bible. Not really at all. One thing you could say is that this word connects with them, known as Antinomianism. Antinomianism is a Christian doctrine that states that grace frees Christians from the need to follow the Mosaic law, when the law was only given to the Israelites, and the Lord is only dealing with the Israelites. Now, we don't bash people over the head with the law of being Hebrew Israelites, but the law is still important. Just do it the best you can while being in captivity, and sometimes you slip up on smaller, I say it like this, smaller things, because of course you're not going to just accidentally commit adultery, but you might accidentally cook something on the Sabbath. You forget it's a Sabbath, you pray for forgiveness. You don't have to wear 100% clothing fabric. We're not going to beat you over the head with all that stuff. But the laws are important. Like, you got to keep the dietary law. You can't just eat anything you want. And you do want to keep the Sabbaths if you can, but we're not going to. Let me just read the scripture. Romans chapter 3, verse 31. Do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid. Yeah, we establish the law. So you can't just throw the laws out the window. So we read this thing again. These plantation Christianity is in agreement with, says that it states grace frees Christian. We already read it, but you get the idea. They just don't want to keep the laws. They don't want to actually go by what the scriptures say. They try to find the easy way out. Romans chapter 6 in verse 15. What then, shall we sin because we are not under the law but under grace? God forbid. Read Romans 3 and 31 again. Do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid. Yeah, we establish the law. If all the laws were done away with, then explain 2 Peter, which is in the New Testament, 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 6. In turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, which is a place of homosexuality, into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. And Sodom and Gomorrah was completely destroyed by fire. In Babylon, the great America is the same fate. In Isaiah 13 and verse 19, you can read that. Which I might as well bring that up. So, if the laws were done away with, Why would this even be in the scriptures, the Holy Scriptures, this Bible? When I mean, the people who, I mean, the people who think that they just can't keep any laws, they don't even follow the scriptures, and any, they barely follow the scriptures. And these Edomite Christians put our whole nation in slavery. So how about that? Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19. In Babylon the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when Yahweh Shai overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, which was by fire. So Babylon, the great daughter of Babylon, has the same fate. I didn't mean to make that rhyme. And this place is doing the same wickedness as Sodom and Gomorrah. And the next point is one thing in the law that you go to the dietary law, Leviticus 11, you can't just eat anything you want to eat. This is Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind. So fire from the chariots to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh Shai plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord Yahweh Shai shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination in the mouth shall be consumed together, saith the Lord Yahweh Shai. So you can't just eat anything you want. It clearly states that. So you eat what according to the dietary law. Now Esau will throw secret ingredients in there, and you can't keep that 100%. But instead of buying bacon and pork chops, you buy chicken. It's not that difficult. You look up the clean fish with fins and scales. You don't be eating no shellfish, no crab, no lobster, no catfish. Depending on where you live, none of that. This is Leviticus 11. And just for your knowledge, you can read through the laws, which you should enjoy doing that. But I just want to touch on this in Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 1. And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof. As the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. So you shall want to live by these laws. People who don't want to will be put to death. It is that simple. With the time of Jacob's trouble coming very soon, you should be afraid. You should fear the Most High and just be obedient. And the coney, because you chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the swine, though he divided the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he chewed not the cud, he is unclean unto you. So you can't be eating pigs and bunnies and stuff. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch, they are unclean unto you. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And this is what the Bible says. the words of the Lord Yahweh Bashmil Shai. As children of Israel, we used to live by all the laws, but we were destroyed as a people, put into slavery. Now, over time, we sinned and did a lot of wickedness, even throughout or especially after 70 AD. Our people just have been completely wicked, in apart from the knowledge of Yahweh Bashmil Shai, for the most part, if not completely. I couldn't tell you exactly during that time, but our people were doing terrible things during the Moor periods and all that. But which were really Israelites. Let's get to the point. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of that all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. So it has to have fins and scales, like the fish that have fins and scales. Those are good to eat, and you can look it up. Like haddock is good. You can look it up yourself. They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses an abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. And that's enough on that. Now the last point is the book of Acts chapter 10. Because you might have a so-called Christian say, well, because it says this, you can eat unclean foods. Verse 14, I'll start at verse 11. And so, and I've done going over this, the correct understanding, breakdown. And saw heaven opened, and a certain vessel descended upon him, as it had been a great sheet near the four corners, and led down to the earth, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air, which represent Israelites in a beastly state of mind, not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Also worshipping these certain idols, just going off. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. So it's not talking about literal unclean foods. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, What the Most High hath cleansed, thou shalt not call common. So it's not talking about eating unclean foods, which I'm pretty sure the Christians say something like that, or some of them will. I don't know exactly, but either way, this clears up the point, because you read verse 28. It says, And he said unto them, Ye know that how it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company, or come unto one of another nation. But the Most High showed me, Yahweh Bashmil Shai showed me, that I shall not call any man common or unclean. So it said, I shall not call any man common or unclean. So it's clearly not talking about unclean foods. You got to be spiritual. And that's one thing these plantation Christians aren't, is spiritual. Scripture do say to rehearse the righteous acts, which has to do with the law. Chapter 5, verse 11, I'll close out here. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the places of drawing water represents captivity. Here, America, Babylon the Great. There shall they rehearse, which is going to be destroyed by the missiles. There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord Yahweh Bashmil Shai, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. So righteous acts has to do with keeping the laws, or rehearsing the righteous acts. In Israel then shall the people of the Lord Yahweh Bashmil Shai go down to the gates. And so, but that's not an excuse to do wickedness. We should be moving in fear hoping for mercy and praying. But this isn't a lesson to push the law down your throat. I heard this term from one of the elder apostles doing some studying on a lesson or breakdown, and I wanted to make a lesson on this term because that's it. So you can see these people are wrong, and a lot of people are in this mindset today. So you gotta bring these things out, shed some light on it, because the truth is in the scripture. That's what we do. So with that, I'll give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Kokodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Peace and salutation to you, like